The coalition of Northern Group is saddened by the recent military airstrike in Tudun Biri village, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, resulting in the tragic loss of innocent lives during a peaceful religious festivity. The CNG is particularly worried that despite the killing of over 100 unarmed civilians and injuring several others, the defense headquarters on Tuesday, December 5th, attempted to shift blames by saying that the Nigerian army did its best to distinguish between civilians and terrorists in the bombing of the community in Kaduna State. The CNG find it disturbing that without remorse, the defense headquarters tried to justify the heinous act of killing of innocent civilians by saying that terrorists often mix with civilians, noting that the Army's unmanned aerial vehicle detachment observed the movement of terrorists at Ligama, an area notorious for being a haven for insurgents. The DHQs attempted to shamelessly shift blame and justify the killing of innocent civilians is deeply troubling, as it seems to lack remorse and accountability, which raises questions about the ethical conduct of the Nigerian army. The DHQ's argument that terrorists often mix with civilians is not a valid justification for the loss of innocent lives. The indiscriminate bombing of a community, regardless of the presence of terrorists, is a clear violation of international humanitarian law. Furthermore, the DHQ's claims that the Army's unmanned aerial vehicle detachment observed the movement of terrorists in the area is insufficient to justify the loss of civilian lives. The use of UAVs should enhance the military's ability to gather intelligence and accurately identify targets, thereby reducing the risk of civilian casualties. However, it is evident that this was not the case in the Kaduna State incident. The failure to distinguish between civilians and terrorists is shameful and questions the effectiveness and professionalism of the Nigerian army. The CNG is also worried by the disjointed, incoherent, contradictory, and unconditioned explanation provided by the defense headquarters, the Air Force, and the Army headquarters regarding the recent Kaduna attack raised concerns about the effectiveness of their operations. These confirm the fears that the prevalence of the prevalence of insecurity in Nigeria over the last 16 years can be attributed in part to the lack of coordination and collaboration, which indicates a larger problem within Nigerian security forces. CNG notes that this lack of coordination is due to the absence of a centralized command structure. Without a clear chain of command, each arm of the security forces operates independently, leading to confusion and conflicting strategies. The CNG condemns the killing of innocent civilians in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The CNG strongly rejects the explanation put forth by the military that the Kaduna attack was accidental. The CNG condemns the lack of coordination in the operation of the Nigerian armed forces. We call on President Tinubu to prioritize the establishment of a centralized command structure within the security forces. We call on the government to invest in modern communication systems that enable real-time information sharing and enhance intra-agency cooperation. The CNG calls for a comprehensive, transparent, independent investigation into the Kaduna incident to ensure that all those responsible are identified and brought to justice. CNG demands adequate compensation for the victims of the Kaduna killings, not only a means of providing financial support to the affected families, but also a gesture of acknowledgement and empathy. Nigeria needs to enhance its counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations. This includes improving intelligence gathering, coordination, and the execution of military operations. By enhancing this aspect, the military can minimize civilian non-combatant casualties and ensure more effective counter-insurgency measures.